Alright, so we are ready to solder on our solar cable. I'm sure there's a specific term for it, but yeah, for all intent purposes, I'll refer to it as solar cable for now. Right, we just want to remove these plugs. Alright, if you look at this box, I doubt you can see it, but there you can. There is the positive, there is the negative. You just need to remember that when you're soldering your other plugs on, which I'll show you later. But basically, you feed your cable through for the positive. Yep. Bit of a tight fit. Look, a lot of panels come with cables. Like I said, this is quite a very cheap sort of panel, so I'm not too phased that it doesn't come with panel cables. Just solder on my own. They are quite expensive though, I must admit, over here anyway, but still cheaper than some of the other panels out there. Alright, so basically you'll see your diodes. You don't solder in the center one. As you can see, the diode connects, this first diode connects to it, and the second diode connects to the center pin. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. The main two pins are these two far right hand ones, right and left, sorry. Okay, hope everybody can see. Okay. Alright, so let's get to soldering. Apologize now for my soldering skills, but we'll get there. I use quite a lot of solder. You've got to remember you have a lot of current coming through here. So yeah, you don't have to, with the solar panel cable, you don't really have to worry about the heat from the soldering iron. As I said, you can, these cables do take that heat. I like to fill up the section that I'm soldering, so this cavity here, I like to fill that with solder so I know I have a proper joint. You just basically keep feeding it in there. I've done my other panels this way and I've never had any problems, so yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Alright, I've actually made a mistake now. I should have actually put these connectors back on there first, but it's fine, I'll just put them in on from the other end. You can see this joint is almost done already. Okay. Alright, let's let that cool down. Don't really want to use my finger to let it cool down, so just grab a screwdriver. Okay, a couple of seconds and it should be hard enough to touch. There we go. Right, I like to try to smooth things down a little bit. Right. As I said in the previous portion of this video, you're actually supposed to crimp these, but firstly I don't have the crimping tool, and secondly I like to have the ability to be able to remove these if need be, whether my cable gets damaged or whatever. Yeah, I like the ability to actually be able to remove these. Right. I'll do some neatening up at the end, that's fine. We'll do the other cable now. The positive, that was the negative. So we just hold it in there and we go for it. Apologies if the light's not so great. Doing this in the garage. type of soldering iron you can use. Look, I mean, as you can see, it's not precision. You don't have to do precision work here, so you know any general purpose soldering iron should do. I've used very thin soldering wire. This is actually electronic soldering wire, but the solder and the resin seems to be enough for what I'm trying to accomplish here. I generally don't like using the thicker solder because I don't have such a big soldering iron. I find if you don't have the proper heating, it starts to get clumpy and difficult to work with, so I avoid that. But you guys can use whatever you find easiest to use. So there we go. This one's pretty much done. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's just hold this cable down. And it should be set, which it is. Alright, as I said earlier, the last part of this is screwing on the connectors, plastic connectors. That's the one. Here's the other. Alright, so we'll just screw on this one. Look, you don't, as long as you've got a good tightish fit, you don't have to screw it so that the plastic's about to break. Screw it until it doesn't go any more onto the plastic casing. Let's do the other one. That should be sufficient, because what it does is it tightens down on the cable, on the solder cable, as you go. It should be sufficient. This cable's quite rubbery as well, so it should avoid most of the moisture and so forth. Okay. Right. I don't think that's going to go anymore. They're not exactly, but they're pretty close, and that's fine. There's a good strong fit there, there's a good strong fit there. And that is that for the PV box. Now what we've got here are these connectors. They do have a name. I will add a note or something just to give them to you. These are the connectors that go to the other ends of the solar cable. So they fit into there. I'll solder these next, and yeah, we'll see how that happens. So this is the negative one, and this is the positive. And basically how it works is they just fit into each other. No two guesses why the one's male and the other one's female. So yeah, and they clip in. I don't have their center pieces in, so I'm not going to clip these in just yet. Yeah, but I'll show you how that gets soldered. They also usually crimp these pieces here, but I like my solder, so yeah, I will solder them and then I'll show you how that's done. Thanks.